But there's nothing sweet in this cake-and-eat-it world. Only a guilty, sticky sickness, shared in isolation. Frustration suffered silently by women who've got what they deserved. Equality, supposedly, though that word is now taboo, an unfashionable, unwelcome topic of conversation amongst this generation of mistaken, latent girls. We can vote, we can work, or not work, shirk our evolutionary duty, or go ahead and procreate. We can wear what we want, or don't want. We can earn or learn to earn, or earn to learn, so why rehash the debate? Because things are rarely as they seem in this place of realised dreams where closed doors leave her wanting more, or maybe less. No longer that little girl told, you can do whatever you want, who now takes the place of teller instead. Where does this cycle end? Nor the young idealist working hard to make the world a better place, one big issue at a time, now facing something she can't mend. No room for her, the educated investment of society, now bound by social propriety to see this whole thing through. And as for her, who favours contribution by a different means, suffers retribution of a stage but by patriarchs and maintained by those still living in a dark and narrow view. No, the space is not for her. So who then inhabits this propaganda cherry pie, this place where primary caregiver is synonymous with mother, as supposedly stipulated by scientific studies funded incidentally by a male, pale and stale government intent on suppressing any argument about the status quo? Perhaps a return to work as soon as she can woman, who's been quietly fighting for her right to stand next to her male counterpart, recognised for merit and not for chromosomes inherited by fluke, or luck, or chance. Straddling the pay gap, trying desperately not to fall through onto the scrap heap of female pensioner poverty. Taking heart from our anthropological ancestors who were quick back to work in a time when young and able bodies were needed while older, less able women heeded the future. But in this age of social mobility and geographical flexibility, neighbourhoods become networks where relations divide and spread wide, and she must ignore the barrage of so-called dangers of leaving her child with total strangers. Perhaps she has to work for sanity or stimulation, or for wages that just about cover all the stages she misses out on, not wanting to succumb to a Victorian scene of reliance on a man so that she can glean the purpose of her existence. Fertility? No, this space is not for her. So perhaps a stay-at-home mum, decision to hole up made for a cocktail of reasons, though for the good of the child must come out on top, otherwise she might stop to watch her workplace skills slowly fade. She too has fought against a tide of labour tides, choosing childhood as career, suppressing fear of the future in an industry with no workers' rights or sick leave or other formal recognitions, though yet heralded by politicians as the best choice she can make. Against the backdrop of potential divorce and consequent destitution, insufficient pension from lack of direct contribution, though her role has facilitated a man's benefaction while debilitated her life's traction. Worst hit by cuts designed to take the most from those who have the least, but need the greatest support. And when those children are grown, back to work she must go, decreed by male judges secure in their high courts, legal precedent for female disaffection, adopt humility to accept work far below the grade of her quality, wisdom and skills bundled in a different way. No, the space is not for her. So perhaps she'll work for herself, drive ideas to generate wages, hoping flexibility will compensate for a negatively biased system that won't help her if she's sick. Working twice as hard between settling and shushing mind and mush, but no choice other than push on. And if that fails, give up that dream, accept part-time work that equates to less than full-time equivalent, set up by malevolent minds designed to punish those with the audacity to fight for a flexible necessity. She can see her child some of the time, but in order to keep her place in the line of career progression, she must accept the concession of leaving a screaming baby indifferent to the difference between days of the week for a dead-end job with prospects bleak. No, the space is not for her. So who then inhabits this man-made, male-governed minefield? Men, of course, they got there first, and although women have won some, there still comes a point for most where biology betrays our plans and we're left helping the next crop of little girls have similar aspirations to forge their way in a world without the foundations they need to succeed. No, that time's not for them.